Hey y'all, welcome back again. Another fat loss update. So I finished the 4th week of the rapid fat loss protocol. So I mentioned last week I only lost like point 0.8, no, 0.6 pounds. So this week I actually lost 2.5 pounds. I didn't change anything up. I kept following the same exact plan. Actually, the only thing I really changed on Friday, instead of just having like popcorn, I had buttered popcorn. So, I mean, technically that should have made things worse, not better. And so I think that what this really shows is just how fat loss isn't this nice linear process where everything just keeps coming down gradually or whatever speed, and it keeps doing the same thing week after week after week, and we know exactly what to expect. It's a lot more rocky than that. So basically, when you add those 2 weeks up, I'm right around 3 pounds, just a little bit over 3 pounds fat loss, which based on the first couple of weeks and losing like 1.5, that's kind of what I thought would happen. But I thought it'd be more 1.5 each week. And so, like I said, I kind of felt like that third week I was maybe holding some water or something like that. And so I think that's what left. I don't think I truly lost 2.5 pounds of fat in this 1 week after only losing zero point 0.6 the week before doing the same thing. And so I think this brings up some good points that, again, fat loss is not linear. And sometimes you need to stick with those changes for a while, and then you get that whoosh effect and things just kind of fall off and you feel better. I think, too, what this week kind of shows is how much things can vary. I haven't kind of shared with you guys kind of what a typical week with the weights my body weight looks like. So let's see, the first day, like, so on Sunday, after the carb up day, my body weight was 192.2, then went down to 190 the next day. So still probably losing some, water from the carbs and things like that. Then my weight hovered around 186.8, 186.6. So again, some more water loss after that second day. So 2 days after the carb, it kind of went down, and then my body weight stayed there, and then Friday, to Saturday, lost 0.8 pounds. So and again, all the days look the same. Basically, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, different things like that. The workout days have a little bit more with my workout shakes, and there might be a little bit more fluid those days. So that would be Saturday and Sunday. Then normally see a weight go down on Monday. Either kind of hovers around that same, maybe goes up a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday with the workouts, and then typically Thursday and Friday go down. But this past week, they kind of all stayed the same. And then on Saturday morning, it went down, which I normally do see that drop on Saturday morning. So that was pretty standard. But then also to kind of give you guys an idea how much body weight fluctuates during the day. This is just for me, so I'm not saying other people are going to have this amount. I'm pretty sure some people have a lot more, some people have a whole lot less. So let's see, yesterday morning when I woke up, body weight was 185.8, so that's the lowest I've been in a while. After eating yesterday, and yesterday was a different day, so I didn't get quite the same workout in. Wasn't able to climb. I'm actually going to probably climb this morning. But I was able to get weight workout in because we were going out of town. I had to push it all together, just did one set of everything, and I didn't do one exercise. So still really close to the same thing. But the eating pattern was really off, just because we were out and we were busy doing things. So I ended up eating a medium pizza from Mellow Mushroom, and so that was kind of 2 meals. And then had 7 donuts from a local donut shop. With huge glass of milk and everything too. Had breakfast as well before that, but that's kind of what I ate during the day and at night. So 185.8 in the morning, gained 7.4 pounds during the day. So that morning weight to the evening weight was 7.4 pounds difference. And then this morning, I was like 3 pounds lighter than I was last night. So, I mean, that just kind of shows you kind of how your body weight does this, or at least how mine does. That 3 pound drop was more than normal. What I'll normally see, like if I take an evening weight, normally it's about 2 pounds less when I wake up in the morning. So, I know some of these things because I just look at the scale as information. It's just giving me data. So I don't mind weighing multiple times because I'm just curious what the number is. I'm not going to get attached to the number. I'm not going to get upset if the number's not low enough or high enough. I'm in a weight gain phase, trying to build some muscle. And I'm just curious to see. There's times where I would expect something, maybe it's higher than what I expect. So I'm like, that's interesting. Or maybe it's lower. Oh, wow, wouldn't have thought that. So I just try to take the emotion side out of it. And I can do that. Not everybody can. My wife saw the weight last night. When I told her how much it had varied from that morning, she's like, that would have killed her. So I understand that is not for everybody. So in that case, just stay off the scale or don't get on the scale as often. Figure out what works for you. There's not just one way to do things. There's, certain principles you need to follow, but a lot of times those principles can be applied in a whole bunch of different ways. So just keep that in mind. But again, I think what this whole week has shown, what just even yesterday has shown, is that write it out. Your body weight's going to fluctuate, so you can't read too much into things. You just got to, if you have a good plan in place, then just follow the plan, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, maybe even 3. If you haven't seen any changes by then, or you've seen changes going the wrong way, then yes, it's probably time to change your plan. Too often, people are looking for those like short-term results. And so if the scale goes up, just one day, oh, well, I got to cut this and this and this and this and start doing this. And you don't. You got to give your body some time to adjust. And sometimes too, when you start to struggle to lose body fat, what we want to do, our natural instinct is I need to do more. So I got to do more weights. I got to do more cardio. I got to eat even less. And it doesn't tend to work once you get to those kind of stall points. For some reason, during those times, when you actually increase food intake, cut back on cardio and different things, is a lot of times how those fat loss stalls, you get over them and start losing body fat again. And I know from a kind of theoretical standpoint, a lot of ways it doesn't make sense that, well, I'm not in as much of a calorie deficit, and calories in versus out, blah, 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 blah. I do think, there comes a point where our calories have to be less than, we have to be burning more than what we're taking in. But, our body is pretty complicated. So there's a lot of different ways it can work. And so, maybe once you add some of that food in and decrease, all the activity, maybe just by decreasing stress, now the body has the reserves it needs to do to kickstart that fat loss and keep it going again. There's a whole bunch of different possible explanations. I don't think anyone's ever found exactly what's causing that, but I do think that decreased stress load and just being able to relax a little bit makes a big difference. That's why I think, having my buttered popcorn, different things like that, did not make a difference of anything. So, we can't then use that though to go to the opposite extreme of, well, it didn't make a difference for that meal, so now I'm going to add it to this meal and this meal and this meal and this meal and this meal. By that point now, we're doing something completely different, so we can't say. But, one meal is not going to make a huge difference here and there, unless you're going to like some all-you-can-eat buffet and eating, 10,000 calories in one sitting. That could change things, because that's just a huge amount of food. Most of you listening to this are probably like, there's no way I could eat that. I think I could get close, and I'm sure a lot of other people could eat that, or get really, really close or even over. So it's possible, but not for many people. So, all right, guys. So I think this just, again, gives you some information, just how body weight fluctuates, how not to take it into account, yes, but don't base everything off of it. The other thing I want to say, this fat loss process has been easier than all the others I've done. Um, One thing I've gotten better with over the years is writing things out, like kind of like what we're talking about. The way I used to do things years ago is like, I would start week one at A, and then week two hit, there were improvements, but I'd make changes. So, it'd be B, and then it'd be C. And so each week I kept making changes, and I would get to a point where I was just burned out and, needed to stop it and get back to gaining weight, or just a lot of times end up losing it and just eating crazy amounts of food for a while. Um, but this time, what I've done much better, like I said, over the years, I've been getting closer and closer to this. Is I made, okay, this is the plan starting week one. I write it out until the progress stops, and then I make a change. Write it out until the progress stops. Now I've done a little bit of experimentation here, so I have kind of changed that up some, but for the most part, I just, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I follow it until I'm not getting the results that I should be getting. When that happens, then I make a change. So I think that's allowed me to go longer, not feel burned out. I still feel really good, still have good energy levels. I haven't noticed any negatives whatsoever. And so, I can keep doing this. Now, I am going to take a maintenance, at least 1 week, might do 2 weeks, and then get back on things. But I'm definitely getting towards the tail end of this. I'm not going to be going too much longer. I just don't feel like there's much more body fat that needs to be lost or anything like that, or that I want to lose, not necessarily need to lose. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching this and following along on this journey. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, all the fun stuff, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.